For 4 days, 300 souls lived inside a bubble of music and connection. It was called the Jacob Collier Hideaway. It was a truly transformational experience, a place where everyone embraced exploration, openness, and curiosity. But what happens when you leave this bubble? When you're scattered back to your own corner of the world? For me, the experience was too meaningful to let it fade into a distant memory. So this podcast is my anchor, a space to share who you are, stories, inspiration, creative aspirations, and struggles. These are Hideaway Stories. And to begin each episode, I asked every guest to bring a song, a sound, a jingle that is meaningful to them, that inspired them. And this is the sound for my next guest.
Your brain fills that in, right?
Yes,
It's so good.
it is. Why did you start with this? Why is this your sample, your sound?
I must have heard this 1,000 times. I love this song. I don't think anyone's alive in post 90s children are alive that haven't heard this song and know exactly what comes next. It's just like, I've never heard drums like this before. I didn't go to this church, right? Like, this is a type of church that if I had gone to this church, I'd be a different musical person. But going to this church as when I found D'Angelo, which was through an old boyfriend of mine, like, it changed my entire outlook of what was possible. It's
How old were you when you
rich.
when you were introduced? How old were you?
I would have been 22, maybe.
Okay.
And I was definitely listening. I had found Erykah Badu already, but this was just new. And
was it the first song that you knew from D'Angelo? Or
no, Brown Sugar, for sure. Brown Sugar. Yeah.
yeah.
But this one, you'd never seen a fakely naked, or like hinting at naked man on screen before. And blessed, because we know that this was his demise, part of it, right?
Yeah. He didn't want to do it like that.
Well, I think okay, I don't know what he wanted before, but I know that it changed how people interacted with him deeply, and that messed his brain up. He was not prepared to assemble.
I mean, you never know, like the stories you hear on the internet. Mm-hmm. I think I heard it from Questlove. I'm not sure. In an interview, he said that he didn't actually want to do it like this, to be also that ripped, like being that way, because D'Angelo is also not that kind of character to like be this kind of person to sexualize. But I think everybody pushed him to do that. And it's what you're saying. I think that changed a lot for him.
In so many ways, right? And it's rare. I hear this about women all the time, but it's rare that I hear this story about men.
So, I mean, it's so interesting because we were recording this only a few days after he passed away, which is such a tragedy. And I saw it from you, actually. I saw on your Instagram, you said, you posted that he doesn't live anymore. And I was so shocked. I mean, because it came from you, I didn't question it. But I was so shocked. And yeah, it makes me emotional just talking about it. I think there's almost no musician that does this to me so
Oof.
far. I mean, a lot of great ones have gone in the last years, but
Yeah.
D'Angelo, I don't know. He just did something completely special to me as well. And then I told you about finding a sound, and then you said, "Oh, we have to talk about D'Angelo." And I didn't know that you meant also that taking a sound from his work.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, thank you for also me being allowed to be in that space with you. Um, so that's just like how I experience it. But I want to come back to you. So you had a different experience of what was possible. You said with like on which level? Like what did it do to you? This untitled "How Does It Feel" song.
Well, it's super sexy, and it was it feels like it's intimately sexy. It doesn't feel like it's showy sexy, if that makes sense. Also, just like the layers
Mm-hmm.
of are so warm and velvety, versus at that time, I'm trying to think who was out at that time. I feel like maybe we had Jessica Simpson out doing like, just like a lot of body selling as sex versus
Oh,
being
you mean in the pop world, who was
right.
out there? Yeah.
Who else I was hearing at that time? I feel like a lot of that conversation was
What
so,
was that? 2000s? What was Voodoo 99?
ooh, that's a great question. I can tell you I came to it late. So yeah, are you looking it up?
Yeah,
Yeah. So I think a lot of the sensuality.
2000.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Right. So I came to it a couple of years late,
yeah.
and it was a different type of embodiment, sonic embodiment. It wasn't about like talking about something sexy. It was being in the embodiment of a sensual experience.
Oh, yeah.
And the drums just being kind of like out, and I don't know. It definitely I didn't know that this type of church existed.
Yeah, it's interesting. He didn't. I mean, of course, everybody knows he was a perfectionist. Like how
Mm,
long it took him to program all this, and I think the album for Voodoo it took so many years. And I heard also. I mean, I also got into many rabbit holes with D'Angelo, and I heard that the voice was the most like the longest time for the album. Let's
really?
say it was 1 year for the entire drums and everything, and it was another 2 or 3 years just for the voices. So because he was such a perfectionist, and I think
That
you can hear it. I think you can hear it, and I think what you were saying is it's just the vibe is so good. It's so
so
raw.
good.
It's so raw and honest and also vulnerable, but
Mm.
also like polished, but also not polished.
I would have never guessed that it was a vocal perfectionist kind of vibe because I made up about
Yeah.
it. And this is like before I was a recording artist, right?
Yeah, it sounds
So
sloppy a bit even. Like laid back, like I just smoked a joint kind of vibe.
right.
It's so interesting, yeah.
Huh. I have the Voodoo outtakes, and we're gonna listen to them with a big community of us, and I'm curious how
Oh.
listening in a hi-fi environment of the outtakes is gonna change my experience of
Wait, what do you mean outtakes? You have the outtakes
so there's a series of recordings that were not used as the record. Other songs as well.
songs? Really?
Mhm.
No,
Yeah.
you have them?
Yeah, of course. A lot of people have them. I'm not unique in that, but I can
Ah,
share them.
okay, okay. Wait, okay, that I didn't know. Okay.
I'll share it with you and but we're gonna listen to him. A friend of mine who's a DJ, I wrote to him and said, "Hey, should we have people over?" I love hosting. And so I asked him if we should have people over to the house and just listen to the record on my like crap record player. And he was like, hold on. And he wrote to a friend that has a hi-fi listening space. And so we're gonna go and listen to the full records, but then the outtakes record as well. And I'm curious. Yeah, I'm sure it'll change my feeling about it.
Yeah,
Listen to the level of clarity.
I will definitely. Sorry, I'm making this a lot about me for the first few minutes because I'm
Great.
such a fan of D'Angelo, but I'll
Yeah,
definitely come back to you as well.
I'm
But I
not
just
worried.
want to want to praise him a little bit more. Um, to me, I think to what some people, maybe the earlier generation be above us, um, to what Prince was for them.
Yes.
I think D'Angelo is for me, definitely, for sure. To me, I never I love Prince. I admire so many things about him, but I listen to his entire discography that you can find on like Apple Music or wherever, Spotify. I listen to all the albums, and there's so many, like insanely many. And I didn't like at some point I didn't get all of them. I didn't get all of it. To me, it was either the like such a great record he did, like a song that is really hitting all the right spots for me, Prince, or something that I couldn't really relate to. It's almost never like an average thing for me. But for
Mm.
D'Angelo, it felt like he did something influential for all the musicians, all the artists, like the Instagram feed of artists and their remembering of them. It's almost like he doesn't even know how much he influenced the music industry because he also pulled out of it so much. He didn't want to be part of it so much because it changed him so much and got him problems. And I think he, even if he knew, like on a rational level, that how much he influenced the music industry, I don't know he knew it on an emotional level. I don't think he let it into his heart, this
We
impact
can't
that he had.
we can't ever know.
Yeah,
That's
that's just my interpretation, and but I think that's the because to me he's a bit more like the Lauryn Hill, Amy Winehouse kind of character that is so ambivalent about music industry, like really really loving music and wanting to express themselves, but also hating the industry so much.
mm.
And he gives me this vibe of like Lauryn Hill, Amy Winehouse, like they're from a character perspective, I find them quite interesting, like similar in that sense.
Hmm.
It, so yeah, that's just my that's my thoughts around him. Um, I just wanted to put that out there. You don't even have to react to it. I'm just saying that's. I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, it's the cool thing about being alive as a human is that we leave a legacy of who we are that we can't ever understand. Right? Like we can get reflections back, right? We can reflect each other, but I will never get fully all that, meet somebody at a coffee shop. Maybe you say the right thing that helps something unlock. And we just never get to know
Yeah.
all those special little, that glitter that is our legacy. I was meditating and heard the phrase, it's a special day that we get to be together. And
Mm.
every single moment that, we had a moment in a pool that changed how that
Oh yeah.
went for
Oh
so
yeah.
many people. And
Mm-hmm.
I won't ever know, like, that Riley sang his song for the first time in this place, I won't know. But those moments help us all kind of upshift. It's so cool.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we will definitely get to that part as well.
Whoa.
But let's get back to your sound. And sorry,
Oh.
now I'm done. Like I could express what I wanted to express about D'Angelo. Let's get to you now. So this sound, you chose it. It changed a lot for you. How do you do? How did you feel before 22? Before you were introduced to
Mm.
him? How did you think about music and creativity and all of these things before, and how did it change, and what did change?
Wow, that's such a huge question. I think I thought music was something other people did. And I had been singing professionally for some years before I found them. And I was singing musical theater stuff. So I was always singing other people's things, being like a character for somebody else. And right after this, I had an interaction with somebody at a record label here in LA, and we built a rap record. And I had been doing a lot of spoken word and already kind of in that world. But there was another moment that I was doing something of somebody else's for somebody else. And so I didn't know. Like it didn't occur to me that I could make my own stuff. And I had helped other people write their stuff. I had sung on other people's stuff. But I
So
think while
were you like, did they hire you to do this like a freelancer singer, or okay?
the rap record for this label was me ghostwriting as an artist. And then
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
So
and
you
then
were writing already.
I was writing it and recording it, and then we used a different front for the release.
And when did that start? Like, when did this journey start to even start singing professionally, writing? Like, was singing and writing the same time? How did it
Mhm.
start?
I was singing from a young age. I had the great graces to be put into vocal lessons from a young age, but in a very formal kind of classical sing Italian art songs kind of thing, as a child, and then did musical theater, went into college for musical theater, um, found D'Angelo. I didn't do any drugs. Like, I was very late to any and all of that. And so when there was a type of music that I didn't have access to because the type of people that were doing it weren't in my circle, if that makes sense.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I didn't know to seek it out because I didn't know it existed. Um, and then I was performing spoken word stuff and rap stuff. I answered a Do you have Craigslist?
We don't, but I know what it is.
Okay. So at that time, I was like looking on Craigslist for jobs when I was in college, and there was a posting that said, looking for someone who raps that can sing. And I was thinking,
Hmm.
I do spoken word shows all over town. Like, I can surely rap and sing. This is great for me. And I ended up in a booth and I ended up having to freestyle rap about stuff I knew nothing about. Like,
Freestyle.
oh yeah, they were like, "Get in the booth, rap." And it's in this
Oh.
area of Hollywood that's like a very trafficked area.
Uh huh.
And so it was weird to find a studio in there, and suddenly I was in a booth with some stranger telling me what to rap about, and it was like, "Rap about pharmaceutical drugs." It's like, I'm super granola crunchy, like, not that person. And I did it, and I was like, "Just tell me what that does. Like, what is Ativan? I don't know what that is." Or like, what does a Valium do? And like, what are other words for it? I had to like get a download before I could rap about it because I had no idea. And I ended up with a record contract doing that, doing a project. And because it wasn't something I believed in, I was like, we have to do it under under a pseudonym. So that's kind of
And would you like? Is it secret? Like, do you want people not to know,
I don't
or
want people to know about it. It was my first experience being really screwed over in the music industry, in
okay?
terms of how all that went. But I didn't know better, and it's all for the best because I wouldn't want to be associated with a lot of that topic. Like, I don't.
Hmm.
It's
So
not
if
part.
you if I may, I you can tell me privately if you
Totally.
even want to tell anyone, but I
I'll tell you
respect
privately.
that you don't want to. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the first time I got hired to do a full recording project for someone else that wasn't a musical. I had done a lot of recording of musicals at that point, or circus shows, but that was
And
the
and
first.
what is this experience? What did it teach you?
Ooh. Um,
Oh, wait. Let's pause that for a second. I want to stay in the moment. How did it feel to be in that hiring situation?
hmm.
First, how did they even, like, Craigslist? Okay, you approached them, but when you were there, was it also strange on a physical level? Like, unsafe? Did you feel unsafe? Were they making it comfortable for you? That's one question. And the other is, how did it feel to do all these things, demanded all these things that you don't even know topically? Like, what is this? Like, am I doing it right? Like, how was the moment for you?
I didn't have any am I doing it right because we were writing these things together. So I would freestyle something,
Okay.
or
Okay.
we would get with like a cool beat maker. Like there were all these glitch hop beat makers at the time that were
Mm-hmm.
really blowing up, like really, really fancy ones, let's just say. And trying not to leave a paper trail. So I would get to be in the studio with these fancy beat makers, and I would say, "Oh, if I were going to be working with Mike Skinner, this is the kind of thing I would want." And I would get it, and it was kind of a wild that was a wild ride, and it was cool because even though I mean, I approached it like I was building a party for somebody else, right? It's like, "Oh, this is the beginning, the middle,
So it
and the end."
was. They were empowering you also. Like they gave you also creative choices, or
It was super collaborative. Be I think it was a world in which they liked my flow already because I was already a spoken word poet at that point, and I had a good rhythm. I mean, I was already musical, right? So then it was like how to make it sicker. And at a certain point, they showed me Lady of Rage and several rappers, and I was like, I'm more of a Diggable Planets kind of girl, or like Lauryn Hill is cool, but Lady of Rage is a different like that isn't in my bones. There's a type of sound that like, that's just not what I grew up with at all. And so there were little learning curves, and it was neat. I got a lot of opportunities to be in rooms that I was very lucky to be in.
but you use the word screwed over, and that's why I
Mhm.
asked like about
Yeah.
this moment. Like, what was the screwing over part for you? Like,
Yeah. So, I'm like, how do we get here without getting there? So we made a fake version of me. We made, let's say, a drawing of me that became a 3D sculpture of me. And then the record was released with this sculpture. And I owned half the project. Me showing up meant I owned half the masters, I owned half of everything. And so at a certain point, a lot of these sculptures had been sold. And and then
oh,
I
and you
asked,
didn't have any percentage on that.
I owned half of everything because it was made in my likeness, da da da.
Okay.
But
Okay. Okay.
but basically the company, I said, "Hey, so nice that you gave me tickets to all these concerts. It's so nice that I got a Walkman or whatever, but I would really love to see some dollars." And they let me know that under no circumstance would that be happening. And if I wanted to sue them, their lawyers were bigger. And I didn't know what kind of legal grounds I had to stand on, but it soured so quickly that I didn't feel comfortable. And I went from being in all these rooms that were incredible that I should have gotten points on everyone's records. All the other people on this label I would go into and help with, and that's just not how it went. So, it was a good education to paper up properly, to paper up differently. I was young. I was in my early
Hmm.
20s.
So with the knowledge that you have now,
Mhm.
do you think you had a case to get paid?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So they were just like they were so like intimidating you about this that you didn't even try to.
Correct. And I
Okay.
thought I talked to one lawyer, and they were like, "Absolutely, we'll do this case." And I was like, "Great, can you do it pro bono and then just get money on the end?" And they said, "Yes, but everybody at large label will drag this out and make your life like kind of hell." And my feeling as a person who wants to be in integrity, and I'm learning more and more how to do that, right? As I get older, you find new levels of what that might mean. My feeling was, oh, well, this whole thing's not for me to be doing. This whole thing is me putting out this image to other people, using my talent to give a message that I don't believe in. And so maybe this is me just getting free of it. And I just let it go.
Hmm. Hmm.
But it had me in rubes. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Please no. Continue that. I want to hear that.
but it had me in rooms, and it had me learn how to record on a mic. It had me learn how to know what to ask for, and changed a lot of how I thought about myself in those spaces. So that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
It
So
was a good
so now,
education to do on someone else's dime.
okay, so now I'm asking. So what did it teach you? Like, what did you learn from this experience?
I learned who I'm not. I learned that I had something I wanted to say of my own, but and while I didn't know what that was, I knew what it wasn't.
Hmm.
Mm. That papering up is a real thing. It's really great to have clear contracts and clear communication and things that hold up in court, though I haven't had to be in that situation further. Now I know how to do it and kind of what the feeling is. I didn't have any sense in my body of what it felt like to be um throwawayable, disposable in that kind of way because
So,
I was going on blind faith, right? Like
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
people are all good people. It was
Yeah, of course, yeah. A handshake with a smile is so beautiful.
right,
They
in an office where everyone's seeing me in that office and in a recording studio where they know I'm writing and I have recordings of me starting, "What about this? What about that?" And I could have gone and used all of that in court, and I didn't.
Yeah. Let me just stay in that contract part for a second, because you say now you know how more you know more how it works.
Mm,
Um, I mean, you had the contract.
mm.
You could have executed on it. Like you could have like put them
I
into
It
suit
wasn't a
them.
great contract. It wasn't as tight as it
That's what
needs
I'm
to
asking. Like, what was in there, or what was missing that
be.
now you would have added?
Hmm. I think I didn't spell the things that were missing is anything in my likeness, anything, um man, it's been so long. It's been so long, honestly.
Okay.
I at a
Okay.
certain
Yeah.
point, like, threw it away and into flames,
Yeah.
be like, "I'm done." But I think the thing that's clear for me is if somebody doesn't talk about points up front, I
Mm.
need to. Like, we need to
Mm.
have the discussion of, are you monetizing this? Are you not? Where is this going? So now when I have contracts, it's just every single point, each person it's spelled out. This is the point, this is the credit. If I write for somebody and I'm not going to get credit, what is the payout for that? For how long? For how many years? Do I own that? And do I own those points forever? Only after they recoup? Whatever that is. I'm
Mm-hmm.
still
Mm-hmm.
learning.
No, I mean I think that's very good advice, especially for people who, um, I assume, like, even if I think back to the Hideaway,
Mm,
I personally never had a contract with any label ever, because I'm completely self-taught. So I only do my own things. I almost never even collaborated until Hideaway with
mhm,
some amazing artists. So to me, this would be very helpful as someone who might be going into the industry.
mm,
And also, I think when I think about Hideaway, there are a lot of people, I think, maybe even the majority. I don't want to assume too much, but it feels like the majority is also not extremely involved in all of this, like contracts and points and credits and pay ups and like all of these things. So I always think it's good, like, to hear from someone who has been through some learnings, let's say,
mm.
to hear it. So I think it's very helpful in any way. Yeah.
Yeah, contracts are my friend. Even Yeah, in every way. I have a sync licensing agent, and so they take my music that's already got all of its splits built out, right? So, me and my main co-producer own my masters. It's a 50-50 split, period. Own my masters for this album. And then the writers on that all split writing. And there are people who prefer to buy those things out entirely. And for me, going in, I actually wanted everyone to get credit for what they did. So that was really important to me, and that's how I ran this first record, this first under this artist title. Um, and then my sync agent, anything they place, they take half before that half gets paid out. Right. So all these people's portion becomes much smaller, but it's money they wouldn't have had otherwise. So I've heard of different sync relationships and different things, but I'm grateful to be learning all these things still.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thanks. So what, like, if I mean, we won't go into it even more, but if anybody wants to really know more about it, what could they read about, or Google or YouTube? Like, is there any resource you think would be helpful?
Goodness. I think everyone should have a contract lawyer, even if
Mm-hmm.
it's just on spec. If it's project by project, I mean. I have one on retainer. It costs me $200 per contract, and they review all the contracts that exist for me. And they'll create a brand new one for 250, something like this. But for me to have something bulletproof that a lawyer's fully reviewed is really useful.
Mm-hmm.
I The laws are changing so quickly. It's crazy with AI, with Suno, with how with digital versus what used to be, film placement in a theater versus social media. I can't keep up with it, and I'd prefer to leave that in the brain of somebody who's a master at that.
Okay, okay. I mean, that's good advice. Yeah. Okay, let's go further. So, okay, so this was before you knew about D'Angelo. How did you think about music after that?
Oh goodness, I can't quantify that. I actually can't. But what I can say is that I know that every cell of my body has that information in it now, right? Like I've been resonated enough that that has to be informing my decisions, and it has to be.
Mm,
I
mm,
don't know that anyone can say it hasn't. That has
mm.
hurt.
And what, when you say that, like, it is informing your decisions, what is the it? Like, can you
Mm,
be more precise about what it is?
mm. I'm just playing back that little snippet that we played at the beginning, and the warmth, the room. Like, I can put myself into that room and know what that room sounds like, and I have tons of musical influences, right? Like, there's Bjork songs that I know every single note of, there's Aretha songs, there's James Blake songs, there's Jacob songs. I wish I knew every single note, but we know I'll never know every single note of Jacob songs. But there's there's the world that you sit in, and I feel like once you've sat in that world, you know what is for you, what isn't for you, and the warmth and the lusciousness and the, like, right in your earness of it. Like, he was doing ASMR way before anyone else was doing it, where you
Mm,
get, like, breath. I'm sure there's whisper tracks in
mm,
there. Sure. Just,
mm,
like, the wonk of the drums not knowing if you're gonna come back to the one really on time. That
mm,
kind
mm,
of thing. And so I can't I don't wanna take, like, a piece out of the whole. The whole of the thing shifted how I am in my body. I just don't think I think every time we get resonated, be it by, like, an intense experience or by audio or by light in a like, there's a certain color of light in a let's say in there's in France, there's a particular city that has a certain color of light that has changed me. That it, like, rocked my world, and now there's a new color in my palette. And
I
so I
love
think
it. I love it.
D'Angelo gave
So,
me a color I hadn't had.
hmm, yeah. Okay, so when you said before, you said now you know that you have something to say, but you
Hmm.
don't know what.
Oh,
Have
at that.
you? You don't know what you want to say, like at that time, but
Mhm.
you know that you have something to say.
Yes.
So, how did you find it? If you found it, and
Mm.
what are you trying to say now?
It's such a good question. Um, jump forward,
Mm-hmm.
plague. Let's jump forward to the plague. And my regular job changed because it very much involved human interaction. And I became in a
What
bubble.
was your regular job?
Yeah, I have a production company.
Ah, okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we go into that also. I just wanted to know. Yeah, okay.
Sure.
Production company.
Um, so during that time, I started toplining, which is writing the melody and the lyrics for other artists, and started that's when I got my sync agent relationship, and that's when I started actually writing a ton of music for other folks. And
That
you
was
pitch
when COVID started, you mean?
Mhm, yep.
Yeah.
Right before that, I had met, my main collaborator, whose name is Matteo Laboriel, and he is a wizard. People don't know, people are sleeping on him. He used to be, the beat guy for Dre and lots of people, and he's on so many records, and he makes nasty beats for so many people, and he's produced some really insane records, multi-platinum, da 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 da. All the names that go after that, he's got them. But we met, and it felt like somebody who wasn't interested in simplifying what I was trying to say, where he was like, "Oh, you're weird. Like, you have some really out musical ideas." And we had a lot of similar references that were everywhere, and he was able to translate those. And so we became a writing team, and we wrote a ton of music during that time. I think it was like 45, 50 songs per year that we were pitching. And during that time, I was also writing with, another
Sorry,
incredible.
one question. When you say
Yep.
pitching, what
Mhm.
stage of a song, like, is that demo? Is that just an idea? Is it a chorus? Like, what is a pitch
Mixed
to
and
you?
mastered.
Mixed and mastered. Okay, also finished songs. Okay, okay.
Finished songs to labels for their artists. So we would get a, RFP that would say, "It's for this artist," so you'd be able to hear their catalog. They want a song about a red balloon in 86 BPM, and they want it to be about heartbreak.
Hmm.
Sit
Okay.
and write. By the end of the session, we'd have a completed song,
Hmm. Okay.
um, which is a really satisfying experience. So he and I were writing and doing that, and then, my other enabler, like, insane enabler, his name is Sebastian Reunert, and he and I were also writing and pitching songs at that time. And what I was finding was there were songs that I knew other people would sing better than me, like, as technicians, but then I was like, "But that one's for me." That one's like, that one has to be me. Again, thousands of people might sing it better, but that one is meant, like, I would hoard it, and at a certain point, I had maybe 4 that I was like, "This is just for me," and
So around 4 of the 50 songs.
probably,
Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm.
and then I decided, "Oh, we should make a record. It's time.
Okay.
I'm
And
clear
and when
about."
when was that? We should make a record. 20?
2020, yeah.
Oh, oh, in that COVID. Okay, okay. So
Mm.
right at the start already. Okay, so what was the difference between the songs that you gave away and the songs that you hoarded?
I think I have the capacity to pull down lyrics and melody pretty easily, and I'm really grateful for whatever is in me that makes that true, or whatever is outside of me that makes it land well for me. But these songs were the songs that felt, like they wanted to be experienced through me versus they were pretty songs or they were great. Yeah, they felt like they were for me to heal through or to give away, and that I was supposed to be the one doing it. I don't know that I have a better understanding that or something to say about it.
So let me try to understand.
Yeah.
So the songs that you kept, they were resonating with you on a deeper level,
Uh-huh.
meaning that is it also the topic that resonated more, or is it more the harmonies, the melodies? Like, was it the emotion? Was it the vibe? Like, what was was it all, like, was it the entire thing? Like, can you not even separate it?
So Beautiful was the first one, and it's a track that you've heard. It's a single that's out. And we were in Connecticut. We had written 14 songs in 8 days, fully mixed, not mastered, but 14 songs. And it was like 13 songs in, I was tired. And the guitarist slash producer, Sebastian, had this riff, and I was like, fuck, okay, there's another one. Okay. And I couldn't, it was, the guitar is a super Stevie Wonder thing in that song. And I wasn't finding it, and I was really threadbare at that point. But our other collaborator, Simone, she said, slow it down. And he played it maybe a third slower. And the instant he did that, I found like all of the words just came through, and I was like, oh, that's for me. There's just something about it that I was like, oh, I'm going to end up keeping that one. Wow, maybe I'm supposed to be doing this. Interesting. And I couldn't stop singing it. I was singing it in the shower. I was singing it, I'd be walking around and it would just keep coming to me. And I was like, okay, I hear you. And then I ended up recording, once I knew that I had a record coming, like it felt like a wave that was behind me that was going to just kind of pick me up and I was going to go with it. Then the rest of the song started moving more clearly. I knew when it was for me versus when it was an orphan for somebody
I find
else.
that it seems like it's a repeating theme for a lot of things that we're talking about now. That it feels like when I try to pinpoint it, it comes back to your bodily experience. Like it's something within you that moves you in all the cells, like in
Yes.
everywhere. And I feel that's completely valid. I don't want to even not even remotely downplay it at all. I think that's probably the best version of when something resonates with you on a body level. I'm just saying that it's so interesting because that's so consistent with you. I love that. I love that.
Something that's true about songs for other people is it feels like a puzzle I'm solving. Right? It's like, oh, let me fix this lyric for you. I do a lot of polishing up of other people's lyrics. And sometimes I'd be like, yeah, I fucking knocked that out of the park. But it's not like, it doesn't touch my heart in any way. It's like, it's brain. And so what I'm looking for is
it
that.
Was more on mental exercise then.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's a satisfying puzzle because my brain loves puzzles. But to have it hit my heart and then move out, that feels like I'm giving spirit a good experience of being me. And that's cool.
Also, I find the direction that you're always pointing to interesting. That it comes from the back through you to the front. Like that's how you signaling it the entire time. For me, it's interesting. It's different.
Tell me.
For me, it's sometimes it comes from above and sometimes it comes from below. But it never in my life so far never came from the back to the front.
I think that's easier than showing because it actually feels like I'm grabbing something above me a lot of times.
Above
But
you, okay.
but when it's coming through versus me grabbing it, which is different.
Huh.
When it's coming through, it feels like it's hitting my heart and coming out in the front. Yeah.
Wait. Okay. What's the difference between coming through and grabbing it for you?
So sometimes I'll be in a state with my antenna open, my music antenna, and I'll hear a thing and it feels like it's over here and I'll grab it and I'll bring it in and I'll hum it and then I'll go find it on the
Okay.
right. And sometimes it's coming out. And I know it's not of me, but it is being shaped by me. So those feel different to me.
Okay,
Like
I
one,
think, yeah, I think I get it. Yeah, I'm trying to find analogies and metaphors, but all the ones that come to mind, they don't fit perfectly. Anyway, um,
yeah.
yeah, thank you. I found it very interesting, and I think this, I think there is some. However, I think at some level, I think all creatives must be in a spiritual dimension when they are in the flow state, you know.
Yeah.
So, and I find that very interesting to talk about it and how the experience is different for everyone.
Mm.
The grabbing and the coming through, that's also interesting to me. That, yeah, I wouldn't differentiate between that, but I love that you have this experience and the puzzle, and I see all the great pictures that you have. Yeah, it's cool.
Mm. It's almost the difference between chasing a child you're playing with versus birthing a child, right?
Mm. Hmm. Okay, so
Wait, how
I'll
is it
just
for you? I want to know how it is for you
what do you mean?
when you're making music. Where does it come from?
Yeah, I couldn't really pinpoint it. Like, I can only pinpoint the direction from above or from below.
Mm.
I cannot differentiate what the difference in music is when it comes from above or below. Like,
Mm.
is there a difference in the way what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Um, I only know I wrote, like, lately I've actually gone into songwriting as well. I'm more electronic music and was more instrumental and used a
Hmm.
lot of sampling as well. But now I'm more into songwriting as well. And it's almost, I can see the puzzle reference, but it's, for me, it's a puzzle that I don't solve it; it solves itself. Like,
Ooh.
it's solved by itself. I don't even, like, it's my hand is guided towards, like, now this piece and now this piece. Oh, that doesn't fit.
Right.
Oh, this piece. And it's almost like a meditative situation where my hands are guided.
Sick.
That's how it feels for me.
I want to play in that. That sounds like fun.
But it still feels a tiny bit like a puzzle, but it's because of the songs that I wrote. They were for a very specific topic and a very specific
Mm.
thing that I wanted to convey.
Yeah.
And I wanted to really go to the essence of it and really try to capture it. So there was like a skeleton of some sort that I had, or different body parts. I mean, now it gets gross. I had different I had different elements that I already thought, like, the core of it that I had, and there was still a puzzle aspect. And okay, I want to keep the core of it and not get tracked off by, oh, there is the rhyme. It
Mm.
fits with
Mm.
this rhyme. So am I now weakening the message, or am I strengthening the message? And sometimes I had the core message that I wanted to convey. I was thinking, like, it was just a 2-line, 4-line thing. And
Yeah.
I, like, rewrote it. And but it was always getting more to the core instead of keep getting me off track. And that is, it's almost like the puzzle got solved, but it got even better, like the
Yeah.
picture that you see on the puzzle got
Yeah.
even clearer. Yeah.
That's awesome. I find
Yeah.
walking away is like one of my most useful things.
Walking away. Okay.
So when we're in the studio and I'm like working hard at solving, I know I'm not allowing it, right? Like I'm getting to here. And so we have a very long corridor at the studio we record in. So it's a studio and then you go out and there's a huge passageway. It takes you a minute to walk it. And
Hmm.
so I'll say, okay, I gotta pee. and I'll walk out, and the dog is in the studio with us all the time. So I'll walk that, and then kind of just shifting my focus enough. It's like I make room for the thing to come in, right? It's like going away from the paper. I always have paper with me, even though, we're in a digital world, but I have books with me at all times, little phrases, whatever. But if I go and I'm washing my hands, or if I pass by a new sound, or I don't know, there's something, it's like good ideas come in the shower, that kind of idea. It's just like, just change it enough to let some space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move on with I'll just keep on the track. I'll be jumping around all the time. I mean, this is consistent through the podcast probably, but
Yeah.
let's stay in the 2020. You have 4 songs now, and you're saying, I want to do an album. So what comes next now for you?
So I think after the first song, then I knew it was happening. I knew I was going to keep it. And then
you
I
mean
went
after the first song being finished?
After the first song kind of writing itself.
Okay.
I knew that one. I knew of the 14 during this writing camp that one of those I was keeping, and the other 13 could go to whoever. And then I went to a place in Black Mountain called the Light Center, which is a beautiful geodesic dome. And it's two floors, and they have a healing kind of pod with color and light down below. And then up above, they have this piano, purple carpet, amazing windows everywhere, and the perfect reverb that is a dome. And so I figured out a way to get in, and that I was allowed to play the piano. And I sat and just sang, and ended up writing a song very quickly, writing and recording a song there that I was like, oh, that's the first song on the record. There were parts of this record that felt like they came to tell me about themselves. I knew how many songs were going to be on it. I knew what the record was going to be called before the record existed. And same with this next record, the follow-up record. The title came, and I was like, got it, heard, wrote it down. I got you. I'm gonna serve you well, like promise. And so first record's done. There were 19 orphans from that record that weren't correct for the record. So the first record's 9 songs, and then there were 19 that were done.
And how long did the process take for you to record and publish?
The first record took a long time. I was also at that point doing a lot of writing for a couple other artists. And so life took priority in whatever way. And I was very particular. Not one sound on this record is on this record unintentionally. Nothing was like, I'll tolerate. Matteo and I. Matteo is just generally brilliant and has references that I'll be like, it's like a 70s guitar, like on What a Fool Believes. But like, if you took that and run it through this kind of distortion, and he'd be like, hold please. And he can just like pull it up and dial it in. And he has it's like a Busby Berkeley musical waterfall with harp. And he's like, And so it took us a minute to really sink in on what the record wanted to be. And then he has such capacity that sometimes it was like, hold on, like you're going over here, and that can be for your record. We'll make those songs for your record because we're producing his as well. But I'm steering this because this is a particular lens I'm trying to put out into the world. So it took a while. The record was done in 2023. And then we met. Then a mixing engineer named Warren Brown came into my life, and he does all of the like Spider-Man Marvel movie things. And he wanted to make an Atmos version of a song for us as a kindness. So he did that, and then it changed how I heard everything. Like,
oh, okay. Let's go into that. Tell me.
Left to right, Philip, dude. It was wild. I hear my body is very sensitive to all sorts of stimulus. So if there's air conditioning on and we're making music, like that's a pitch. That's a thing that is in the room that is making sound to me. and it changes what song I can make on top of it, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
My dog snoring he's been snoring for about the last 20 minutes, and that's part of our conversation. It's a tempo in here, right? So when it became in the Atmos mixing, I was able to say, "Oh, this should move through my liver." Or like I really think of it in those terms. Like this should like rub the outside and then shimmy off. And he'd be like, "Okay." Because that's his whole world. Is like this volumetric mixing is how he thinks. So I'd be like, "This should be aggressive and up here, and like these vocals should feel like an angry choir, and it should feel like it's coming down on you, and it's it's your mom being angry at 4 in the afternoon." And he's like, "Okay." And so he stripped everything off of every single stem we had and ran it through analog gear.
Wait, what?
Every single stem. We had the full record already mixed, right?
Yeah,
Mixed and mastered.
yeah.
And he heard one song and he was like, "I kind of want to do this whole record." I was like,
Wow.
"Believe
Okay.
me,
Okay.
no."
Wait. But still, I mean, so you have the songs.
Record is album
You
is
gave
done.
him, yes, you
Gave
gave
him one.
him the original studio sessions, basically, or the original
Correct.
studio stems.
Yes.
He took them all, like, and individually placed them in a volumetric, like Atmos, like 360-degree
Yeah.
thing with
Mm-hmm.
your direction, like saying this sound should do this and this sound should do this.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. And I mean, I only know the binaural, as you know, the binaural listening, which is of course also mimicking 3D, the 3D surround. But how is it different, and especially what? How is the difference? Because you say it's something that you never heard before, like the listening experience is wild. So how,
One of
can you describe it?
Yeah. So in stereo, there's a lot that can be hidden, right?
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah.
things can be like slightly out but sound cool because they're glued together flat. But when you strip those, a lot of the mistakes that get hidden through cool filters um,
Mm.
end up being very naked and don't have the same. They don't lock the same. So when, for instance, there's a point that the emotional quality is like a gut-wrenching rumble. And we had tried to do kind of a James Blakey bass thing. And the way we had achieved it in stereo was great. But what you can do in Atmos, where it's coming at you from all directions and you can have it move up the body, creates a different emotional quality. And so it gave me more room to be a weirdo and be like, "Oh, okay, so this I want it to come to the center and shoot off." Instead of just panning this way, right? Getting to pan in all directions gave me a different way of listening that has felt as a dancer and as somebody who thinks in movement a lot. It gave me way more opportunity. So I'd say, "Oh, can it kind of shimmy and then it becomes more like metallic?" And he'd be like, "Yeah, yeah." And he's so incredible that and he'd be like, "Oh, wait. So if we run that first part through this kind of 70s plate, then the other thing we can do is throw this through this other thing." And he has in the way that Mateo has every sonic thing he's ever heard filed in a Rolodex. This guy has all the gear that makes those things in his Rolodex. And so he took it and he said, "Will you re-record this entire song, but I want you to record it on this 1920s mic." And so he sent us home with a new mic, and I was like, "No, no, no, this song's already recorded." I like the take. Please don't make me re-record it. I don't know that I'll ever get that again. And he had me, sing it really close, and he'd have that as one layer within everything we had already done. And so I didn't realize how I just didn't know. It was basically like redoing the entire record. Every choice that we had made in the first place had to get redone differently.
Mm. I mean, the way you talk about it, it's almost like I now definitely want to have Atmos in my house to
Yeah,
experience music like that.
dude.
At the same time, I think it's very rare to have that. I
Of
mean,
course.
being able to listen to it. And I'm asking myself, like, what is the feasibility for like every day, like for normal people? Like, why even do this? I mean, it sounds so complex and so, yeah, such a lot of work. And like, why
Yeah.
even do it?
That is such a legitimate question. And I questioned the year it took us to get it done, or like the 6 months it took us to get it done. I think something I'm thinking about is listening with other sensory input at the same time. So creating Atmos experiences in a field where you can have breeze, creating it where there's haptics or food or light that's timed really specifically, so that not only do you feel the thing run past you or run through you, but that you're also getting that it changes from red to maroon, and or that you're getting, when this thing happens, that the floor shakes. So I'm thinking of it more installation style. So there would be the record
Mm,
listening as a listening experience, that would be a art, think of it more like art installation, and then there's playing it out, which would be totally different.
mm-hmm. And you did that for the first or for the second album? Like,
Mm.
what
Just
for?
so there's only one album done right now. So the
Ah,
second
okay,
record
okay.
is currently
Oh,
being
the
built.
the one album that you sent me?
Mhm.
Oh, okay, okay, okay,
Yeah, so
okay.
so the launch of that was actually an album tasting. So we had a huge long table with all the people that I wanted to honor that have really pushed me into doing this. And then I had a chef that paired each song with a taste,
Mm,
right? Because I'm a sensualist creature, right? As you've mentioned, I'm an embodied creature. And so how can we have these things relate? I think in sound and movement and color and all these things. And I want more people to get access to a bigger experience of life through this music.
that's so cool. Okay, just for me to understand because I don't get the timeline correct. You said that was 2023 was when it was finished. Then
Mm,
came the Atmos experience of it.
right.
But am I wrong that the album, I mean, I'm having it here, Spells, right? That's the name.
Yeah.
It just came out, no?
Just certain songs of it. So actually the first 5 singles are all
Mm-hmm.
the original mix, which was done by this man named Peter Geiser, who's brilliant. And this woman, Jet Galindo, did the mastering. So the only one that's of the new process, the Warren Brown and Reuben Cohen version, is Something to Lose. And so the whole record isn't out yet. And so there's the intention is to do some playing of it out and then release the full album with vinyl.
Okay,
And
so
then
what was the then what happened between 2023 and 2025, which is now? Like,
yeah.
why another 2 years? Like, what was the process? What
Right?
was happening?
So 2023, we had the first version done, but we didn't have any Atmos. So I
Yeah.
released one song as a just like, I have to have something done. I'm going to explode. And my brain has been in this world too long and I need to get it out. Like, send this kid to school. So, so we put out Love Use Me, which was the one that was recorded. We're going to say it was starting to be recorded in the Dome, in North Carolina. So
Mm-hmm.
that was the prayer that had told me it wanted to be the first song on the record. And I think in the clearest way is kind of a thesis for the record. Uh, and then I think 3 months later, we released Beautiful, which came out with a song and a music video. And then things started rolling out little by little after that while we started doing the Atmos mix. That was a 6-month process for the mix. It was a 2-month process for the master. And here we are, having just released
Mm-hmm.
Something to Lose of that Atmos mix session.
Okay, I get it. Okay. Yeah, thank you for it's so
Sure.
interesting
It's
that
as painful for you to try to track it as it is for me to have lived it taking so long.
yeah.
Woof.
Let's I mean, I never took I mean it took a long time to ask this question. We are already recording since an hour, but
No,
we were
this is
so
epic.
off track with D'Angelo and like going into all of it. Like
Mm,
I didn't even ask you like who you are, what's your name, where you're based, like what's your background. Chris,
so cute.
sorry. So Elizabeth, tell me, who are you? Like, where are you from? What is your musical background? Like,
Mm.
just tell us a little bit about you so that we can have an idea of who you are.
He's so cute. I love it. Yeah, my artist project is called Elizabeth Leon, and I'm based in Los Angeles, California, and I'm making soul music. And that can mean
So, yeah.
anything that soul might mean to you. And,
Hmm,
listen to the record and it'll make more sense.
hmm, hmm. Okay. And when you say you grew up singing very early, that
Yeah.
was classical, as in opera, or like what does it mean?
Sure. I mean, I sang around the house and drove my parents crazy for sure, but I was put into formal opera training.
Oh, really? So you
As
can sing the high notes? You
yeah,
can do the opera notes? Oh, wow, that's insane. Can you do the flattering, like this flatter thing?
the vibrato stuff? Is
Yeah,
that what you mean?
no, I think in opera, I always feel that they're jumping like scales so quickly. Like, like I cannot do it, of course, but it's so quick. Like the note changing in the singing,
Mm.
it's like the jumping around all over the place and all these octaves. Like I find it insane. But
I
yeah,
think I had that kind of precision and agility as a young singer.
mm,
And then I stopped singing for a while. And when I came back, the thing that's true as a young singer, I was probably more accurate and more agile, but I didn't believe me. When I heard people that sang, like I never sounded like people who like I believed and like felt emotion from. And then when I came back to singing, I had lived a lot of life and I had been really like I learned things in life. And then I came back as a less accurate, less ferocious imitator, but I sounded like who I am and I believe me. And
and when
so
did you? Then when did you come back to singing?
maybe 2014 or 15, I took a break. And when I came back, it was a new muscle, it's living tissue. So any in stuff you have in there is in there. And as you sing, it like moves and shifts and your jaw, your teeth, your tongue, all of it.
What I find, do you play any instruments?
Not well. I
Okay,
play
okay.
I play piano enough to write on it.
Hmm,
And so I'll write all the shapes of stuff, but
hmm.
I'm not a
What I
fluid.
found interesting in listening to you, but now even like mimicking your more or less your creative life, your voice is so versatile.
Mm,
Like the way you sound, even on one song, sometimes it's
yeah,
so different within the song.
yeah.
Like you're starting off like a smoky, like almost like Mary J. Blige kind of thing, and then suddenly it's so clear and so like pristine, and then it's
Mm,
more like laid back, and it's so interesting. It's and I thought, okay, I mean, I wanted to ask about that, but now I'm listening to your life, and like you have all these versatile things that you do, like
mm,
having this production company, which I want to know about a little bit more. and having like all these different jobs, writing for different artists, writing for yourself, like having this Atmos experience, probably a lot of things that you already didn't mention so far. Like, okay, there's no question in there. I'm realizing, like, what do you say to this? What, like, do you see it the same way? Like, is it a feature of yours, or like, how do you think about versatility in this aspect?
I think I'm trying to be honest to the song. Whatever is true to what that thing is trying to convey, I'm trying to get as much out of the way and give it whatever colors it wants to be the best version of itself. So I haven't been worried about genre. I haven't been worried about sounding consistent because ultimately my voice is the consistency of this record, right? And Mateo's beats and all the people that I choose to surround myself that are part of what my sound is are what carries us through. So I have heard that feedback where someone was like, I don't understand this first song. You sound like like maybe you can't even sing. And then the second song that came out, you're belting it way the fuck up. And so like, what is that? And I'm like, well, I'm trying to give what the thing is asking for. And hopefully I'm
Hmm.
gaining more sounds and more colors as I grow and evolve.
Hmm. Hmm. I mean, I personally like it. To me, I rather personally have an artist that I heard someone say to me that an album should
Mm.
be like a front to back vibe that you go in and you don't have to skip a track because the vibe didn't change. Like you can listen to the entire album from front to finish and
Mm.
there is no like middle track or several tracks that get you out of this vibe and it completely doesn't work because like this doesn't sound like it.
Mm.
And I've been always thinking about this. I can neither approve nor deny that this is the right way to do an album because I'm still finding my opinion around this statement,
Mm.
but it stuck with me and I don't know, I didn't even mention this story since probably 15 years, but what do you think about this? Because especially when you say you don't really care about consistency in the songs, because your through line is is your voice, but it still has a similarity to it in a sense that it works with each other, the songs on your album.
Thanks. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so yeah, again, I don't have a question in that expression of thought. Um,
Well,
what
I
do?
think it's rare that people listen to records top to bottom. And
Oh yeah, yeah, it is.
you have a different view than most people that are just coming to me as an artist because I've only released singles, right? So you've heard the whole record, and the record as a body of work makes total sense. It's a storyline very clearly that I did not intend, but that is true from like kind of heartbreak to falling in love. And then it comes back and is like in the power of not being in those things, right? But as the singles are released, you're not getting a through line, so it could totally seem erratic. And I can't I can't manage for what other people experience, but the body of work is complete. It is a complete statement of communication.
Hmm. Okay, um, let's go back to your like I said, I'm jumping around.
That's fine.
Um, let's go, like, what is your main income source? Like, are you in the creative field? Like, is that your main source of income? Do you have a day job, like a normal job? Like, what what are you? How do you make your living?
Interesting. I make my living through solving creative problems, be it writing music, recording music for myself or others, or solving other problems like brand problems. And so if somebody needs a commercial made, if somebody needs an event run, Yeah, I solve people's creative problems. I'm really excited to, and I'm not sure that I want this section in there, but I'm really excited to move this to being my primary source of income, the music itself,
Oh, the
and my
music,
art versus
your own music.
versus just solving other people's problems, right?
Mm, mm. Oh, I mean, you decide if you want to leave it in, but I actually feel it's completely legitimate.
Sure.
Like, not even wish, like, not even demand. Like, I think it's very natural that you. I would love to make a living from my own music. I mean, that would be great. I don't think it's in any way a problem to say that out loud. Not even remotely. I think it's even very because I feel that's the struggle of most artists, and I feel that the all the recordings that I'm going to do with a lot of people, I already did some. Um, there is this always this like, should I pursue being staying like staying
Mm.
there and staying in my world, and should I do something that makes me money? And usually it's a conversation that is either this or this. Like, it's either
Mhm.
my passion or it's the passion of someone else. And I'm not even saying creative passion, like someone else, as I'm employed in some job or I'm self-employed and doing stuff for others.
Well,
So I feel like to have the strength to actually pursue it. I think a lot of people, they don't dare to. They hesitate, and they stay with the hesitation more than they are pursuing it. So, I mean, I can cut it out, but I feel that's how my take on it.
I am about to play my first show, Philip. Having toured shows, I did in LA, I did 4 years of 8 shows a week of other people's like musicals, whatever. But I did like 4 years where I did 8 shows a week.
8 shows a week,
8 shows a week.
like no day off.
Um, no, Monday's off, and then there's 2 on Saturday. 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. Is
Oh
that right? I
wow!
think that's the math. But
And you
having
you as a singer, front singer, or
me as part of a musical, or me as part of a circus, or me as a jazz singer, whatever, but I was consistent for years, and I've never played my own record out, and it's so exciting. It's so exciting to be actually, that wonderful man we both know, David, is gonna be in the band. I sent him the record and
oh
he
really?
dude, it's incredible. He heard
No.
bro, he sent me, like, a series of text messages that I was reading it, and I was like, "Oh god, now is when I ask him. I'm gonna ask him." And I was like, "So would you play this out?" And he was like, "I will take this around the world with you. This is gonna be amazing." And it blew my sockets because it's the exact thing you want. I'm surrounded by lots of people who have been
Wow.
in the industry since I started in the industry
Wow.
that are whatever level of success and celebrity, that asking them to play with me is kind of silly, you know?
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
only
well, yeah.
I only had a very, very short interaction with David in the Hideaway,
Mm.
but he impressed me. Just the just his looks already impressed me. Like,
Oh,
and then like what he said, I think, yeah, I think he's. You can see like there's a vibe to him, like
bro, his
he.
music is insane. I will send you a link to his Spotify, and honestly, I'm like, how do people not know about this? This is
Mm,
ridiculous.
yeah, I want to hear it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Um. Okay, so production company, like what is that? What do you do? What
Mm.
is your what is your
Yeah, so
what is
that's
the
that's me
type of
solving anybody's issues. So it could be a broadcast award show, it could be putting together an orchestra for people, it could be writing songs for a trailer, it's any kind of creative thing. That's where I've been using it.
mm, mm.
Uh, or that's where
And
I will
how
use.
did you? I mean, maybe I'm not even saying that it's better or worse, but it's always a personal decision and individual way of life. But how, like, if people would want to do that as well, like have their world in the entertainment show industry, like make this as a living, how did it start off? How did you get bookings? Like,
Mm,
why do people come to you? How do they know about you? How's
sure.
that working?
Sure. So I was touring as a singer and about to go on a fairly large tour, and my dad got sick. And so, in him getting sick, it required me having a job in one location instead of touring so that I could do hospital stays and sleepovers basically at night to watch him. And so, when that happened, I ended up getting a tip that I should apply for a job. And the job I applied for was the stage manager at the LA Philharmonic. And I got that job and did that for 4 years for some of their shows. And so in that, it taught me organization. It taught me going from being a touring musician or a touring performer to doing that. I understood how to treat people very well, but also get something done in a regimented way. And from there, somebody called me and said, "Hey, we have this brand and this girl, Dua Lipa, is gonna come play. Can you help her? Can you do the thing you do for the Philharmonic, but for
This
this brand?"
little tiny girl, Dua Lipa.
Nobody knew who she was.
That's so
Nobody knew who
funny.
she was. She had just released maybe 1 song or 2 songs, and she was just singing to track for a brand. And so they said, "Can you come and stage manage her? We don't." Basically, they were like, "We don't know how to talk to musicians." And I was like, "Great, great. I'm 100% can do that." And so I went and did that, and that company has I've been working with them for the last 10 years doing all of their A-list talent advancing and um now at this point recommending for many brands and many different companies like putting together who I think should be their musical talent and who would feel like to their audience they would be breaking, right? Everyone wants to be the first one to have had Dua Lipa. Everyone wants to be the first one to have had whoever. So So I curate those kind of brand experiences for brands. I run them. I do all the talent advancing. And kind of in after that business got built up and after my dad recovered, which was a couple year process, um, then I started going, wait, I had this thing that I gave up. I had this thing that I used to do that I had so much joy doing. I don't know if I'd still like it, but I'd like to try. And so here we are.
Hmm, hmm. Yeah, I'm just amazed how you actually managed the entire creative, like, yeah, I'm coming back to the word versatility.
Mm,
I think it's so cool. Yeah. Um
so grateful. I know a lot of
yeah,
people have what looks more like a straight line of a career, but to me, it's all
yeah.
storytelling. It's all a way to have somebody start in one way and transform by the end.
Hmm. I think if people hire through straight line careers,
Mm,
like any company,
mm,
I think they're doomed.
say more.
That's yeah.
Hot
I
take.
I really think so. At, in the long run, I'm saying in the long run, because I come like before. I mean, I've always done some sort of music, maybe since I'm 13, 14. But as I said, I didn't pursue music as a career, as a life income, and I went into like studying, and I was very, let's say, adapted to what social norms should be. Like, you go to
Yeah.
university and you do your thing, and then you have a job. But my job, at least, it was in the creative field, which was event management.
Mm,
And I did also events for brands and all of these things. And I did events for a lot of large, I mean, I'm from Germany, so a lot of German, like, huge companies that people also know.
mm,
like in the car industry, and like something like Siemens and Bosch, like all of these things that people usually know. And I could read all their, like, of course they sent the marketing like papers, like their strategy for like this next 5 years, and like
Right.
what is the thing that's going to happen next. And I always felt that the more they promote within the company from people who have already been there for 20 years or 30 years or even longer, the more they have such a narrow focus on life and on creativity and innovation, and even like hiring, then the hiring process and structures and strategies. And I feel it always told me something. I mean, of course, they're huge juggernauts. It's not easy for them to go down like immediately. It will take a long time for the ship to like slowly sink. But I feel that I gotten a good insight that the least create, like when I did an event concept, like for the brand, the least creative concept they wanted was the companies that were like the least hiring from the outside. Like they wanted this
Sure.
is a studied, like, okay, he did this, then he was in that company, he fits to us.
Yes.
And I feel that if you surround yourself, I mean, it's your choice in a company, of course, but if you hire from that, you might make stuff that is okay, like good, like consistent, technically good. But I think you will stay in a time frame for that time that came up.
Yes.
You will stay in the past. And that's probably, now that rambling on like in a monologue almost, I think that time frame that you were hiring, like where it started to come up,
Mm.
you stay there, you stay in that culture, you stay in that world. But the world is changing, and it's changing faster and faster and faster and faster, as everybody knows. And it's not like a thing that is hyperbole. It's actually like that. And but you're still in that mindset of, I don't know when it was. So
Right.
yeah,
Did you have a whole bunch of clients that were like, we want to really be out of the box for this one, and
of
then just
course,
do the exact
everyone.
thing they did?
We had almost like a bullshit bingo card.
uh,
Innovation, sustainability, and what was the other thing? At a certain time, it was disruption.
oh, right.
What other words were there? Yeah, something like once in a lifetime experience. I think that was always in the briefing.
Uh-huh.
I had like the everybody wanted to be basically like Apple or something, like we
Right.
want to be like this, or look at this advertisement, we want this. And then you
Right.
give them this, and then it's like, yeah, but I don't know, it's probably too brave for us. Maybe we shouldn't do it. It was exhausting. It was really, really bad. That's the
Wait.
reason why I went out of this industry, because I couldn't take all these half-assed, we want to be innovative, but we are not innovative things.
Yeah, dude. So what do you do now? How do you make your money now?
I'm in personal development and coaching, so I give seminars around that topic, and also we do a coaching training that is a 1 year training with a group, like in different seminars that goes for 1 year. And yeah, it's all about personal development, also very about psychological aspects in there. And luckily, also I do that for companies, but luckily, a lot of people seem to like what we do. It's
Mm-hmm.
not like so many that I'm drowning in money, but it's enough to make a decent, like, normal income. Right? Yeah.
Yes, may it continue. I bet that who you are with people really makes a big difference for them.
And that's to me, it's always been more rewarding to see, and for me personally, it's always more rewarding to have an impact within people than
Yes.
the money. Always, like every time it wins. I'd rather do something for free but have an impact with whoever I'm also impacted by
Mm.
than do something for money but don't feel anything. So that's how I always operated, and I personally want to keep that. It's my way of living life. And
Amazing.
so the main income in my house is my wife.
How does
Yeah,
she feel about that?
I think she doesn't mind, and yeah, I yeah, it's a I think it's a give and take. When she was still studying, I earned more than her, so I supported her. Now she supports me. I think it's a give and take. Yeah,
Sounds like an awesome relationship.
it actually is. It is. Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, we're together since 18 years or something. So
Well,
yeah, it's a long relationship as well.
incredible.
Um, okay, how did we get to me? I thought this episode about you.
I thought we were just having a conversation.
Yeah, no, we do. We do. Yeah. Um, um, yeah, but I actually feel that there's so many things that we touched upon, and I also feel that I got to know you more as a like how you like work and what's your like what you're excited about, which I always look for in people. Like, where's the spark? And
Mm,
I can see so many in you. I love that. Yeah.
thanks. I love it
So,
too.
is there a topic or something that you feel is you want to talk about, like something that we didn't touch on, or
Hmm.
yeah, what is missing in this conversation?
I want to talk about how awesome it is to love each other.
Oh yeah, let's do that. Talk about it.
I feel so lucky that we get to choose the frequency that we're putting out, both as an audio frequency, but also like the care that we're giving. And I think it's so special that you and I got to have that so quickly when we met, that it was like, hop in the pool. Let's talk about what we're actually creating in our lives.
Mm,
And that to me is so, it's such a special opportunity that we all have all the time.
mm,
Actually look and say, how can I uplift that whatever it is that you want? Because there's no competition. Like nobody wants the same thing. Even if they use the same words for it, who they are dictates the differences in what that thing is. And so I'm really grateful that we're getting to love each other right now and that we got to meet through such a delicious thing. I'm curious if you want to talk about how, like, maybe the ways you like loving people or the ways that you're putting out a frequency that's really true to your spirit.
it's interesting. I never thought about putting out a frequency,
Hmm.
but I always, not always, I sometimes get the feedback, and I never got that feedback much in my life. And it started with Hideaway.
Mm.
A lot of people said to me, even afterwards, that, oh man, I love the energy that you put out. Like,
Yeah.
and I was so like, because I didn't hear it much in my life so far, because I mean, I'm surrounded by friends. I guess it's just normal life. And I was so, first of, like, I had to really think about it first, because it almost like there was some distance that I put, like, what do they mean? Like, I try to think about it. I try to make it a mental exercise. Like, what are they seeing? What is the energy that they're talking about? And I didn't, it was all to distance me from the feeling that it was some sort of connection that was on a heart and body level, but that also, I feel, makes people vulnerable and needs a strength to be able to hold a connection that is, I'm using the word intimate, and I'm not meaning it romantically. I mean, you
Sure.
can be, yeah, I'm meaning it as intimate. You can be with friends, you can be with even, I think, strangers.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
this intimacy is always because it opens you. I think in the very, very last session of Gina Chick when we left, she
Mm.
said, and that still resonated with me, the heart opens like a flower and it closes. And the heart is really bad at, like, it brings you into bad like into, it's not good at making you feel safe, but it's very wise in knowing who you could trust. And
Mm.
and this is, I didn't think about this quote since the Hideaway, but I think this is what I want to convey, because you're opening, when you're intimate, you're opening your heart. It's also easy that somebody could see something that you're insecure about, because they
Mm.
see you. Now they see you as a person. They don't only see a picture, an image, like what you want to convey, like something that they should see and something they should not see that is just in the shadows. And that is how I feel about this moment of connecting. And coming back to the word frequency, to me was more energy that came towards my direction, the word. Probably there's no distinction between energy and frequency. It's just a different way of seeing it. Yeah. But I didn't still answer to, like, how is it to love another? I realized that I can love more, like, of course, since I'm also a coach for personal development, I try to do my own. I think I would be a bad coach if I didn't do my own work. So, after all these years of working with myself, I realized that I can actually feel love more also
Mm.
towards others when I love myself more. Like, the more I'm in touch with myself, the more I can actually give love, support others, like, not have this competitive aspect in my brain thinking like, oh, but how does this help me? Like, how can I gain from this? Which was more thinking that I had when I was like 17, 18, I was
Mm.
categorizing people by, okay, this person, probably it helps me, this person, and this
Right.
person probably not. So I will avoid this one and go to the other. But now I try to find this unconditional aspect in the human being that
Mm.
I'm meeting. And because I also found true that there is so much intelligence in the stories and the people that I meet that I will never have. I can read so many books, as many as I want, and I can still never have the same intelligence as when we talk about it. Like, if you wrote a book, I would still rather have the conversation with you about the book.
Totally. Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah. So I don't know if I answered your question. And it was again a long, feel like I'm answering long answers, but, yeah.
So what I heard you say is the more that you've worked with yourself and the more you've loved yourself, the more you find effortless intimacy with others, which is the space of being vulnerable, which is the space of
Hmm.
being seen and belonging.
Yes. 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 Yes to all of this.
Mm.
And, um, and also the feeling the love in the body, like actually letting it grow and actually letting it, like, shower you,
Mm.
that I could I can only do since since I'm able to love myself more.
Straight
Before
up.
it was more like a certain area in my body that felt something, which I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't have used the word love for. And it was more bound to a certain region or a certain situation or a moment. But
Well,
this full body experience of love, I would never be able to do it if I didn't love myself more than I did in the past.
that's awesome.
Can you relate to this?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I I can witness my self-love growth even just from when I started recording again to now. There are moments that I'll like go for something, I'll really send it, and I'll listen back and it's really out or it's really off and it's not what I thought I was doing. And I will often say, I love her. I love her. She went for it. She did it. I'm so proud to be available to that because as a younger person, I was raised that if it's not perfect, you don't do it. And now I'm
Mm,
like, oh no, if we're not stretching, what's the point? If we're not trying, then we've lost the opportunity to experience any growth. So yeah, no, I really relate to that. And I think it's such a brave thing to choose belonging. And my witnessing of you was how much you created belonging for everyone. Like you
oh,
specifically would go and get in with somebody and be like, "Oh, you totally are awesome. By the way, the dream that you have is going to be maybe fulfilled by this other person." And you just like kept connecting people in this way um, that made our worlds bigger. It was really awesome. Thank you
thank
for
you.
being that guy.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, you fulfilled a dream of mine as well. So, um,
Yay!
yeah,
You did it.
yeah. But we should, actually, we should maybe do an episode just for that. It's probably,
That's
it would be too long to now go into that, um, story. Yeah.
well, surely you're gonna cut out a lot of this. You're gonna edit. You have to edit. 2 hours?
I didn't really think, no, it, I feel it's supposed to be, I mean, I don't even know who's going to listen. I don't know. I mean, I posted in the hideaway and then like, because my, my goal with this is actually first for me to be back in this space, to be
Mm,
able to connect again. Then I feel that because I heard so many people say that they also want to go back to that space,
mm,
to hideaway space. I feel it probably will resonate with other people from hideaway. But apart from that, I don't know what's going to happen with it. So I feel it can be as authentic as raw as it should be. I think it's not really why cut something out. I don't feel that that's the part where I said, this vulnerability and intimacy, cutting it out, like maybe if there's something that actually needs to be cut out because of, I don't know, some reason, but cutting it out would mean I'm trying to see it through the lens of some image or some polished version of who I
sure,
should be, like presenting myself.
sure.
I'm not sure if that's the right thing in that situation. And I don't even know if this recording the podcast and publishing it is even the right move, but I'm not thinking about right and wrong in that sense now because I'm so in that world of wonder and awe and just
Mm,
blessing in the sense that meeting all of you, that
mm.
I just I want to make it last longer.
Have you listened to the new record?
To yours?
No! No, 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 the new Jacob.
Oh, not since I only heard the butterfly song, the video. I mean, how great is this video? Oh my
I
god.
haven't seen the video, but I
No?
have No, should I do it? I'll go do it.
Oh, it's I really am rarely I'm rarely blown away by a video. Very rarely. I think most videos
Yeah.
they're good, they're decent. Like I'm not such a video type of music video type of guy.
Mm,
Um but this video I'm always looking for something that I've never seen before. Like then
sure.
I'm like, for example, the first and to me the best music video that's ever been made is by The Prodigy, Smack My Bitch Up. Do you know this one?
And no, I wish you could screen share and put it on.
I'm not even sure if it's not.
Okay,
I don't think
I'll
I
watch.
can do it here. Yeah, you should watch it. It's to me this is the best video that's ever been made, and it's so old. Like it's four by three ratio. It's bad quality, but they used this first person POV camera,
Yeah.
which was the first time it's ever been used like really commercially, I think.
Yeah.
And it's been done so well and it fits the song. Like it makes the song even better and it's already great.
Nice.
The second best video that I know is Pharrell and Tyler and someone else. And it's the one where they have this moving diorama
Are you talking
with the flashing lights.
around the
Cash
world?
cash no, cash in cash out it's called. Cash in cash out, who's it from? It's with Pharrell, that I know. Pharrell featuring 21 Savage and Tyler the Creator. It's from 2022. That was the second time I saw a video and I was blown away by the video. It's so great.
Okay. James Vincent McMorrow. Have you seen his videos?
No.
Okay, he has a video. I think it's to Red Dust. Now I have to look. This is let me see if it's that. Yes. It's a stunner. His music's incredible. I
What's
love
the
that we're
name?
now
What's the name of the song?
Red Dust.
Red Dust. I'll watch that.
Nice. I'll watch your two. Smack my bitch up.
Yeah,
Cash
and
in, cash out.
cash and cut out, and now I have to say, and that's I'm always looking for something that I've never seen before, and I feel the way Butterfly was recorded, it's so crazy because there was some so short behind the scenes on his Instagram, and they used a camera which I've never seen before. It was almost like a shotgun mic, but super long, and really was like a stick. And they have super close-ups, like really you can see every pore in his face, and the vibe it conveys to the music and the pictures. I really think it's a masterpiece. It's so
Incredible.
great. Yeah.
Great. I'll that'll be my first one.
Okay.
Oh, it's so nice to have time with you.
Yeah, it is. I wish you weren't like how many miles? Like I don't know,
What time
7,000. It's 22:39, which is 10:40 p.m.
you look bright and springy and fully awake
Yeah,
and
yeah.
great
That's
with your
when
congestion.
I'm with people. It's always when I'm alone that I'm like starting to, especially when I'm tired. Then immediately the tiredness comes up. But when I'm with people, I'm usually not tired.
You're on your purpose.
Okay, Elizabeth, thank you so much. It was such a great talk. I wish we can do this more often. Maybe we should do some, I don't know, meetup with people, just like hopping on a call, like once a month or something.
There's
That would
talk
be.
about doing that on Monday. I'll
Oh,
send you the
really?
details.
Oh, yes. Yes, please. That would
I
be
think if
so
you
cool.
choose it, but I'll tell you.
Yeah, please.
Thank you for
Okay.
creating. So we have
Yeah,
time to
yeah.
love
Goodbye.
you. Talk to you soon. Bye, hon.